This summer we met up with Tyler and Sarah, a couple from Vancouver who's been living in their camper van for over 2 years now. They decided to do this because rent prices in Vancouver are absolutely insane, and they estimate that they're saving close to $18,000 a year on rent by living in their camper van. So we're gonna go meet up with them and hear a bit more about their experience. We also want to say a big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. We'll give you a bit more information at the end.
We chose van life after a big part of it is we did the calculation of how much rent we were paying per year, and it ended up being, I think, $18,000 per year to be in Vancouver and live where we wanted to live, and we just live a block away in our van. So we save that $18,000 a year, we get to put it towards living life and doing the things that we want to do, and everybody knows that lives in Vancouver that it's, you know, you spend a majority of all of your money on rent. So once we did that, life became really easy. We didn't have any worries. Work became not such an important thing in your life, and I think it's the best thing that we could have done.
We've been living in the van for 2 years. We've got a kitchen with butcher block counter. We have a bed in the back and a TV with a PlayStation 4. We have storage up above for clothes, and then on the other side we've got more storage and a Dickinson stove, and then just a small, simple porta potty toilet.
It's just the coziest way to live, and it's the off-grid part that really drew us to the whole thing, was being able to have our own power and really like monitor our water usage and all that kind of way of living. And once we did it, it's actually really easy, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And now that we've done it, it's the best thing we've ever done.
Yeah, and we can go wherever, whenever we want to, you know, weekend trips or whatever, music festivals, anywhere, and just don't have to pack.
It's a 1990 Dodge B250 Pleasureway, and we bought it off Craigslist for like $4,000, and it was a complete rust bucket. Didn't have anything that really worked. Everything, like the furnace was rusted out, sinks were rusted out, stove was rusted out, so we switched out basically everything, repainted it, and just basically tore everything out and then re-put it back in after it kind of looked a little bit better, but it took quite a while to get that done.
Took a good month and a bit.
We're definitely looking to upgrade, whether it be a van or a tiny house, we have no idea. But don't think we'll ever go back to a condo. I don't think we'll ever do that. We would buy a piece of land, but I think it'd always be a small dwelling like a tiny house or a van or something of that sort. So.
Did you guys have any difficulty adjusting to living in a small space?
Oddly, no, not really. No. She had the hardest time, I guess. But
well, in the beginning, we couldn't use the black water tank, and so probably TMI, but I was peeing in a bowl at nighttime, just on the floor. So that was interesting. Other than that, it was pretty seamless.
We're never home, honestly, to tell you the truth. We either work and then go straight to band practice, which ends up being till 9 o'clock, 9:30.
We usually just hang out in the back. It's the most comfortable, and nobody sees you, so you're staying pretty stealth.
We definitely stealth park, and it's usually, we pick parking places that are usually outside of apartment buildings, that type of place where nobody has the ability to know who anybody is, because in apartment buildings, especially in Vancouver, nobody knows their neighbor in an apartment building. So we tend to find that most van dwellers end up doing that in Vancouver, where you see them all lined up beside of apartment buildings, which tends to work pretty good. We found that parking in front of houses and stuff, people are usually kind of much more protective about their area, so we tend to leave those alone.
They notice you a lot more. Somebody new is parking on that street.
Yeah.
So we stay away from those as much as possible. We get a lot of questions about what we do with the dogs, because there's a lot of animal lovers out there. They go to work with Tyler, and then if we're going out, we just make sure that they're safe in here. They don't stay alone for more than like an hour. We make sure the temperature is good in here.
We're both drummers. I play more like rock dance music in a band called Magik Spells.
I play in a band called Nixie. We're a all-female three-piece. I work at a organic coffee roastery, It's called Salt Spring Coffee. So the owner, he lives on Salt Spring, and yeah, he's all for it. He's got the hippie vibes, so he's good.
I work for kind of a contemporary design firm in Vancouver that we do kind of lights and interior design. They definitely know that we live in a van, and they're actually most people are pretty stoked on it. They get really kind of intrigued by the whole kind of thought about it. I don't think any of them would ever do it per se, but they definitely think it's pretty funny that we do it. But
everyone's always intrigued, but they're not necessarily ready to like go and do it themselves.
I think it's the paring down thing.
Yeah.
Letting go of stuff is the tough thing.
Our rule for downsizing was if you haven't used it in 6 months, give it away. So we had like this one little pile for all the things we were keeping, and then we had another pile for the storage locker, and then we had another pile that was just huge. That was all the stuff that we gave away. One thing I do miss is having an electronic drum set up in our living room so we could play it whenever we wanted to.
Yeah, that was nice.
Right now we have a studio that we go to, and it's got storage, and we've got like all our musical instruments there as well, so it helps, but it's not the same as like getting home from work and just sitting on a drum kit.
So we power the van with a 250 watt solar panel on the roof, which isn't hooked up to the alternator yet, but we will get that hooked up to the alternator. And then we run two 6-volt golf cart batteries that are about 326 amp hours, and that allows us to do anything that we want to do. We can play video games, we can watch TV. Yeah, we can basically do anything with the amount of power in here. We haven't been without anything, except for the winter. There's been a couple times when it's gray.
Yeah.
We took out all of the under the van plumbing just due to it was really leaky and we were constantly just dealing with problems. So we took all that out, and now we just kind of store it in a jug in here. We fill up all of our water at work. Having somewhere to shower daily, like in the van, would be amazing. That's kind of why we've been looking for a new van, was just to be able to have everything all in one place.
Yeah.
We shower at our friends' houses, the gym, or at work.
It's definitely not for everybody. People will find that out pretty quickly, but definitely try it.
There's thousands of us, you know, and I think it takes you to do this before you realize how many people there are really doing it. And the one thing that I've kind of always found with people is that nobody's really put off by it, especially when you're in our age group. More people are more intrigued by it and really want to understand it. Whether I think people should try it, yeah, definitely. I think it's something you should do for a summer and try it out. And I think finding out that you don't really need as much stuff as you kind of think you need all the time, I think that really frees a person.
I hope you enjoyed hearing a bit more about Sarah and Tyler's story. Again, I want to say a big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Sponsorships like these help us keep creating and sharing free videos with you. If you're looking into creating a new website, Squarespace is basically a one-stop shop that makes it easy to build a website even if you have no experience. You can get domain names, website templates, and set up an online store all in one place. And they even have 24/7 customer service. It's just a really nice platform that's easy, user-friendly, and it's great for people like us who don't really know anything about building websites. You can start your free trial today at squarespace.com, and you can also get 10% off your first purchase if you go to squarespace.com/exploringalternatives. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We post a new video every Sunday.